Hi everyone, this is Audrey from the Creator's Attic. Do you want to learn how to make a belly band with some cool little booklet flippy open accordion type thingies with a little gate close? That described it pretty well, didn't it? In very much detail. I'm just going to show you a little bit more of what I have done, and I wanted to show how to do today. Okay, first of all, this is a journal that I did a little while back, and it's something that I had in my journal. And what it is I made a place on my page with a belly band. So in other words, I could take just something like this and put it in here. And so I could put my papers or ephemera or whatever. But not only is it a belly band, but it is also a place for writing. It's a surprise place. It has this little gate, like little lever, like this. And then it opens up. Let me back you out because this is gonna be surprising. It's gonna come out and come out again, okay? This one does the same thing. Out and out again. And you have all this writing space. Put some little word prompts here because I had these cute little copies of Victorian calling cards on here with these cute little girls. So I used little things and when I was a child, and these may be some prompts for someone, but let's get started on how to make these things. This one's going to be a little bit different from the one that I made for this book. I'm going to be working in my newer journal, and my new journal that I'm working in has a little bit wider pages than the regular 5 3/4 wide by 8 1/2 or whatever your journal dimensions may be. There's a little bit, I did mine a little bit wider and a little bit longer so I would have a larger page. So let me pull you out a little bit. Now, what I did was I just took a piece of packaging, like a thick piece of packaging, not too super thick, but sturdy. And what I did was measure it out to where I would have enough room to have half of my paper on here, but still fold in my book like I wanted it. And I'll show you more of what I'm talking about. Also, I wanted to leave a little bit of room between the top, where the belly band would come up, between the top and the bottom on the page. So I cut this out, the width that I wanted it for my page and the height that I wanted it. And you can do the same. Now, we're going to build the belly band first, along with the little booklet that goes on it, and we're going to do that we're not going to have anything to do with the book at the moment. Okay, we're putting the book aside. What we're going to do is I'm just going to take a piece of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. You can use any kind of paper that you want. I'm trying to stay with some pretty neutrals and softer, maybe not so much really pastel, but maybe like softer muted blues and pinks in my journal, and some other colors in, but those are the main ones I want to get in. I really want to feel like a very soft, warm spring feel to my vintage journal that I'm working on. So what I need to do is I just need to cover my belly band. I don't want to put this on here. I think the other one had a file folder that I had, but as I've come along, I've learned some more tricks and things, and I figured after I had already done that, when I look back and I'm like, I wish I would have decorated the belly band with some kind of paper wrapped around it or something, but I didn't. So now I guess hindsight is now foresight. I believe is how that goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what part of my page I want to use, and I'm going to flip this over. And just for some reference sake, I don't need to cover the tops. Let me see if I can get you out just a little bit more. Okay. I don't need to cover the top and the bottom, because I'm going to, when I put that in my belly band, when I put it in my page, I'm going to put something across the top to secure the belly band more than just glue. So I'm going to need that little bit of room that I left. So I'm not going to worry about having any, folding any papers over from here to here. I'm just going to cover just around it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, this is measured off squarely. You want to make sure that it's, this of course 12 by 12 paper comes out square, but make sure that your piece that you have that you're going to use comes out square. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it down up on the edge. See if I can scoot you up a tish. Okay, and it's going to be, you know, leave a little bit to fold over here. So I am not going to need the majority of this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off this much paper. And I don't have room to put my guillotine up here, so I'm going to do that over here. Okay, so now I have the piece that I'm going to use. And I did cut it a little bit wider. And when I wrap it around, I'll cut it off this way. But okay, so for now, I know that I have a squared off piece. Let me make sure that this is going the direction that I needed to. Okay, if you have anything with writing on it, it's really good. Sometimes if you tend to be like me, that you make sure that you have the right side up and the writing's not upside down. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take the, oh, I left my glue mat. Hold on a minute. Okay, there's so much involved in this video. I was trying to bring everything over here that I needed, and I forgot my super handy magazine that I have that I use for gluing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to cover the side that I'm going to lay onto the scrapbooking paper. So that is going to be this side. So I'm going to just get this really well. You can use any kind of glue for this, but I find that this this doesn't wrinkle my paper. This is a Scotch Create multi-purpose permanent glue stick. It's what I use to put down things when I want to make sure I have a very smooth page, and it doesn't warp my paper, whereas like some wetter glues might, like stuff like your white glues like Elmer's, or you know, a little bit fancier versions of Elmer's like art glitter. Okay, so I'm orienting. Okay, I'm going to turn this over and put it down, and I'm just going to make sure, I'm just going to run it. Let me pull you back in. Run it here and make sure that it just kind of is square like I want it. Kind of squared up, you know, the edges are about the same. And then I'm just going to push it down and press just a little bit. Now I know where I can cut off my paper up here. So I'm just gonna eyeball this and just cut off this top part now. Okay. Now I have this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I may not even need this much paper, but that's okay, it'll be fun. I'm going to put it on my paper this time because I don't want to put it all over my belly band and then get glue where the paper is not going to be needed. Then, because that would end up being that I have, I may end up sticking my belly band to my book by mistake or something. Okay, so now I have this, and I'm just going to, this is the best way to get it straight, is just to line it up like this and fold it down. Okay, we have this, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. And okay, oh, I just did what I said not to do. Put a little bit on my belly band. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Fold it over and smooth it down. Okay, and so now we have our belly band. And I didn't quite put that on there quite the straightness that I wanted to. Okay, that looks a little better now. Okay, I'm making sure I'm orienting. Okay, the flowers are going up. Okay, I have a little bit of strand here. There was a little measurement was a little off there. Okay. All right. So, now I've decided I want to ink around my belly band a little bit. So, I think I'm just going to use a tone, maybe the neutral tone of the writing. So, I'm going to choose frayed burlap, I believe. Let's just try. I'm just picking a color, frayed burlap distress ink. And I'm going to grab the dauber that's closest to that. I guess I can move my mat out of the way. You could see the mat was kind of ugly, or the glue mat was kind of ugly, and the mat on it has been, underneath it has been crafted on so much and well loved that it is also pretty, looks like it's in pretty bad shape. But okay, so I'm just going to ink around my edges. And just to frame it in a little bit, you don't have to do this step. And this color, sometimes, you know, once you start putting a color on there, you may not like that color on there. And I'm really not that thrilled with the frayed burlap. It's just really not showing up as well. So I'm going to go around it and finish it up. So I am not going to, and then I'm going to add another color over the top because I'm just not quite, it's not really quite showing up for me enough. I needed to go a little bit darker. So I'm going to try going in here with you definitely want to use a darker color if you're framing it in. So I wouldn't, or something that is a contrasting color. So I'm just going to go in and go over this frayed burlap with some gathered twigs, just because it's handy and it's here. And there it is a little bit darker. So we're just going to roll with this. And I'm just kind of inking the edges just to give it a little bit of framework. Do a little bit of vignette here on the edges just to kind of frame it in a little bit more. Do a little here. And you don't want this to look too perfect if you're doing a vintage look, because if it ends up being too perfect looking, you'll end up with it not losing kind of its old and worn kind of vintage like feel. So with that being said, we have finished the inking. Just do a little bit up here. All right. And now we have the belly band. So here's what we do next. I'm going to take one of this pretty piece of paper that we dyed on one of our earlier videos. If you want to know how to do that, you can look up the Coffee Dye Meets Distress Spray video, and it shows how I got this color. And this definitely looks vintage-ish, and it kind of blends with my belly band. So I'm going to use this. Now, first of all, you can decide however tall you want your card to be. Like, I doubled these two on this one. I put 2 on here. I wanted to be fancy and put 2 on here. So that's what I did. So I measured accordingly. But with this one, I think I'm just going to do, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do 2. Do I want to do 2? I think I'm just going to make this video, for the purpose of video, just to make it shorter. So we're not making 2 on here. I'm just going to do half. Okay, so let me cut my paper. So I've cut my paper. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to get this started how I want it. Now don't start gluing yet. I want to get it started about how much I think I'm going to need just to securely put this down. And then I want to decide how far across I want this to go. So I'm just going to, first of all, just fold it. And I'll turn it over just to make sure that I've got this little edge will go down to anchor my little accordion book into place. Okay. All right, so there we have that. Okay, now, the next thing I'm going to do, let me see. Actually, let me see. I want to make sure that I did the other one the same way that I did. Okay. I did it this way. Okay. Now, I am going to decide how wide I want my book as far as to take up space on the belly band. And I don't think I want to make my booklet as wide. So, and remember, you've got to keep space over here to put in the brad. And the thing that makes this so great when you're using a belly band is the brad doesn't go through your page and come out on the other side of your journal page. It comes out underneath this belly band. Therefore, it's invisible to the eye, okay? So that works out beautifully. Okay, so now I'm just going to decide. We want to leave enough room here because you want to have a thing or a place for your little gate to come open, to slide open with your brad. So I think this little guy's going to end up being a little bit slimmer. So I'm going to fold out to the width that I want. Okay, first of all, I want to make sure that this is folded back. I'm going to fold it. Okay, so now it looks like an M, or an upside down B, I mean. Okay, upside down B. I'm going to take this and put it here because this is going to help me judge how I fold the rest of these. So I want to fold this back about however far, but I'm going to pick it back up because I want to make sure that my edges match up. That way it keeps my book even. So we're going to do this. Okay, and then we're going to fold over again. And we're just going to fold over like this. And we're going to have a little bit of hangover left. And that's okay. We can just cut that off. So here's what I did. Here's the part where it attaches, okay? And then here's the part that'll fold out. Actually, I could have, okay, I don't know what I was doing there. Okay, so, all right. This is about like this, so this is gonna be too long, but of course I told you I needed to cut this part off. So let me cut this. Okay, so here's what I have. Now, you can hang this part off a little bit here if you want to, if you need to. But I didn't measure this exactly how I wanted to exactly, but, nor did I really, honestly, I think I folded it one too many times. But just this way works, okay? It works, so just stay with it. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. It's kind of late here. All right, so now we have our book. So now it's time to decide where on my belly band I want to put this. And I have an idea for something I want to put up here. So I think I'm just going to just put down this flap right here. And it's only gonna, and it'll come out 3 times. So I'll have writing to come out 3 times. Okay, so I think I want to indicate where my pages fold as well. So just give a little bit of definition. So let me do that really quick. Let me decide what I'm going to do there really quick. Okay. I ended up trimming that little piece off. I folded it twice. I only needed to fold it. That V only needed to be folded over once. So that's my bad. Okay, so we're gonna put glue on here. Here's my mat. That was not good. I just dropped my whole journal. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna ink these. Duh! I'm kind of spacey this evening. I've been working all day getting things ready for my Etsy store, and I have so much going on. I've just worked and worked and worked, and I think I'm into hour 12 right now, so I may not be right on top of my game, but I did want to do a video and share this idea with you. So I am just kind of doing like a cheater inking kind of thing. I'm just kind of running along the edge here just a little bit, just so I can show the definition of where my pages are going to fold. And I also do want to ink this part as well, so I'm going to ink around here. I think I'm going to go with a different color, since I'm going to just try going with iced spruce around the edges of my little book before I start gluing. I'm just going to use this. And I'm just going to use this iced spruce just to have a little bit different color. And I am trying to do this. Yeah, I like this iced spruce color on this paper because it kind of gives a little bit different look than we got with the gathered twigs. All right, now we're going to start gluing. So I'm going to come down here because that's where I want to do it. Where I want to do it, that's where I want to glue it. So let me grab my magazine, and I'm just going to glue the flap I'm going to put down. Only that flap, okay? So make sure you don't glue any other parts of the page, but you do want to get quite close, but just this little flap right here. So I guess I could lay it out like this and just kind of make sure I don't go past my hand. You want to make sure you get the edges really well so the corners will stick down. Okay, that's the only part that you want to be sticking down, is this part. So hit it, align it with the edge of your page however you want it, and remembering that this is going to come back some, so make sure you go in enough to where this will come back enough for you. So I'm going to go in about here, and then that means my book will come back this way. Okay, that's still not quite as, I can scoot it over just a little bit more, and that's what I want to do. Just doing that carefully. All right. Now, okay, I'm being a little bit perfectionistic and making sure it's straight. Okay, so now how did I have this folded? Okay, I wanted it to fold. No, I wanted it to fold. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. So we're gonna have it to where it'll just fold open instead of accordion open so much. We're gonna do it this way. So the gate will hold down this, and it'll actually hold down, and then we'll just come in and we'll unfold it. We could do that, or what I did was I actually glued this on in the wrong direction. I was trying to find a way around that, but I did. All right, so I'm gonna come back and fix that little mistake. That's a little bit of what's one of the things that's really awesome about the Scotch Create glue stick, is that it will work on, it will stick quickly, but then it will also remove itself. Okay, now I have this. Now it's over too far. Ah, oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Hopefully that's the last time that we'll have to use it. Okay, I have this. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my little, we'll talk about the booklet in a minute. I have a little bit of glue here. No surprise, huh? Okay, so what I did was I folded this forward, and then I folded it up back, and now it's time to put in our little brad, okay? So let me just move this back while it dries, because I've got a little bit of glue here. And I'm just going to use for my gate, as I call it, my little gate latch. I'm just going to use a piece of index card that I have here. So I'm looking for okay. Here's a little hole punch. I think I want a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Let's see. I'm looking for maybe a 3/4 punch. This one will work. I'll just go with this one. You just kind of have to do what works for you, but you have to have it big enough to where your brad will go through it, and you will still have time to slide on your gate. So it'll still slide on your latch will still slide open on your gate. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, lay it right here where I want it. And then I'm going to grab my little hole punchers, or you can stick a needle through here or whatever, because you don't want this, you don't want a gigantic hole, because I'm going to use a little brad. Let me find my little hole punchers. Okay. And then I'm not going to go in the center here. I'm going to go a little to the side of my gate latch here. Okay, see how I did that? Just a little bit to the side, because when I swing it open, I don't want it, I want it to release the paper. So when I swing it closed, then I swing it open. Let me show you. Let me put the brad in now. I have these little small brads. These are by, I believe, Tim Holtz, or if not, just Tim Holtz. I know Ranger. I think Tim Holtz's name is on this too, puts these out, and these are great for small little projects. So I can ink around this latch, but first of all, I'm just going to get my, I'm going to ink around this really quickly, because I just can't stand not to just have everything inked. Thank you for being patient. If you're doing this with me, then I'm probably giving you a chance to ink yours. So, all right, now put this through, and then I'm going to put it through my hole here, and see how the brad is going to be coming out this on the bottom of the belly band, not going through the page. Okay, put it nice and tight. Okay, so now we have this. Our little paper will do this number. Slide, swoop, and open again. Okay, so I have it, and we'll slide it shut again, and there we go. And as long as you have a sturdy piece of card here, gosh, that train is so loud. This train going through, y'all. It makes me lose my train of thought even more. Okay, so now we have this. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on. I'm going to show you what I had in mind to put up here. I made this flower slide today, and I just thought it was so pretty with this blue in the background, and I just wanted to put it on this belly band as well, to add a little bit more of nature to it. If you have not seen how I make these little slides, I also have a video on how I make those. Let's see, I'm gonna just ink around the edges of this. This is a real hydrangea flower that I dried, pressed, and let dry from my yard. It was either this past summer or either the summer before last, maybe. One or the other. Occasionally you'll see me pop these into my Etsy store, which is also the Creator's Attic. Okay, so I have like this, and this may look a little awkward here right now, but just give it a minute, because I'm going to, once we put it on the page, it'll make a whole lot more sense. Okay, but I'm going to wait a second and grab my book. And this is the worst thing. Here's the tip. Keep this baby wipe way away from any coffee dyed items that you may have, because it will touch it and then it will totally drain the color out of your page, and you'll have like a big watermark here. All right, so here is what I have so far. Okay, so what I do want to do is take a little bit of my wet white glue, and I'm just going to put it down. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I think I'm going to try the wet white glue, but I may also, I'm not sure if it's going to hold like I want it. I think I'm going to go, actually, I think I'm going to go in with the Fabrifix. This Fabrifix, you can buy it also. Fabri-Tac is pretty similar. They're both made by Beacon. It just depends on what store it's sold, what store sells it. Walmart sells Fabri-Tac. I have tried both. I tend to like the Fabrifix a little bit more. So I have wiped off my white glue, and I'm coming in with my Fabrifix, and I'm just going to put it on the edge here across this top and this top, or this bottom. Okay. And this is not the only thing that I'm going to use to secure, but I want to make sure that when I lay it down, that's where I want to lay it down. Okay. So I have it here where I want it, and I'm going to give it just a moment. And I'm going to be thinking about how I want to decorate my book. I also have this this flower slide here, and I wanted to put it up here. I think. I may not, but I'm thinking that I do. So what do I want to do here? While I'm waiting for this to dry, what I will eventually end up doing is I will come across the top with some sort of trim, or you can use washi, and come across the top and then maybe go across the bottom. Maybe not something this wide because of the way this one is, but when I put glue up here above the page and down here on this, and this sticks, it reinforces that belly band, okay? That's why I'm saying we're going to do that, but we're not at that step yet. What I think I'll do is I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this just because I'm being a little slow this evening, and I'm going to go ahead and put my trim down that I want here, because you can decorate this front however you want, and I've already showed you how to decorate this. I decorated this other one. I just glued some little calling card, just some shrunk down little copies of calling cards, and I put them on the front and put a little flower, and I think I eked around everything. And then here I put a stencil on the part where that I left on this on the actual belly band part. I put a little just to take up that space, I put a little stamp or stencil or something here, and then I put a word prompt. And you can put word prompts on each page. You could put stickers on here. You can do it however you want to do it. That is up to you. But the thing I did not do for this one that I wish I had done was I put this whole thing from top to bottom on the page, so it runs the length of the page. This one, I am just by trial and error, I've decided that I'm going to make it stronger by using some trim. So let me just grab some trim, and we'll see how far we go with this before I run out of time. I really liked the way that other color looked, but I also have some pretty blue here that may not be quite wide enough. I might back up and do a different, how would this look with my flower? I also want to think that. How does it look with my flower? And I think I might want something just a little bit wider than that. Oh, okay. I have this here, this lace right here that's similar to the other color that I had. Oh yes, but it will be also work for down here as well. Down here. All right, so I'm just going to decide how wide I want it. I don't want it to go the length of the page. I just want it to go a little over on either side. And I'm going to put the same amount on top and bottom, so I'm going to fold it where I want to cut it. Then I'm going to run this other one down so they'll be the same length and I don't have to measure. And then grab a fabric scissors and cut off like this. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to cut this one here. There we go, and they're the same length. Whoop. And I'll probably put something up here on this to decorate this also. So I have this, and then since my lace is going down and it has like a border up here, I'm going to put this one with the border going along the bottom of this one as well. So I just turn the lace over. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm not going to put it on the lace because it tends to seep through the lace. I'm going to put it where I want it. So let's go ahead and do the top one first. And I'm going to figure out how long this is going to be, so I know where to put my glue down first. So see how it's going over part of the belly band and part of the page. So I want to make sure I have this centered. Okay, then I'm going to just lift this up and put the glue on the center and on the side. I say the center, I mean the top and the top of the belly band as well as the page. And if I need to slide it out a little bit like this, you can always come in. You don't want too much on either side of the glue of the page, so you can always come back under and put a little bit more. It just is better to not go as long as your ribbon and add some more glue in than have glue on your paper where you don't need it, because then your lace won't cover it up and you'll have glue there, and that's something we don't want. Okay, so I have this. Then I'm going to do the same thing down here. This is about where I want this. So I'm going to start a little bit inwards. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not putting it on the lace because it will bleed through this lace. And I don't want it to bleed through my lace. I want to just put this down like this. And remember what I said, you can go back and catch those edges. So we're going to do this. Make sure it's aligned with the top, and see we have these borders here. And this is not really doing anything for the belly band, but just securing it in a little bit more. Let me make sure now that I am going in and getting these edges here of the lace, just so we're not having the bunch of peely ups. All right, so we have this, and then I may put my slide up here, and I will probably do some decorating to this, but for time purposes, I'm just going to show you the basic construct of this. And here is what we have for the others, and this one was more completed on the inside. So we have a prototype, and then we have kind of how we showed you this one. So you have a belly band and a little open gate door and lots of extra writing space. So I'll continue to decorate this page after I finish this video with you, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to be notified of more videos, if you hit the bell that you see next to that, it will alert you when I have new videos that have come out. Please check out my store, The Creator's Attic, on Etsy. I have vintage ephemera kits that run from the mid to late 1800s with items, all sorts of different items, and they're from different eras, in different languages, different cultures. They're all different sizes. It's papers, there are tickets, there are photographs, there are labels, it's just packed, and there's a list that will tell you what can possibly come in your kit. If you look in the menu of the all antique / vintage ephemera kit on my store, I have beautiful lace samplers in there. I have all sorts of things. Usually I'll have these, but if they sell out long enough, if they stay in there long enough, they usually sell out, but pretty quickly. So anyway, I'm going to go off and finish my page, but I'm going to let you have at your own crafting and have your own take on this. Please also subscribe if you're not subscribed. I just hit 100 subscribers. Thank you, all my subscribers. I hit 100 subscribers, and my next goal is 1,000 subscribers. So I have a little bit of ways to go there, but I'm just so excited to have gotten my first 100. So thank you all, and I will probably do a little giveaway for that pretty soon. Take care. And I wish you all creative wishes. That's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.